Myself Shraddha Taryakar. Today I am going to give a seminar and my topic is designing and architecture. I am dealing with this topic, that is designing and architecture. In that I am dealing with the, let's see, contents, that is designing the architecture, design strategy, attribute driven design and step of add. Let we will discuss these steps one by one briefly. Let's start with the, that is, first topic is designing the architecture. Here we will see the what is designing the architecture and how it will work and what is the importance of the designing architecture we will discuss here. Let's see. In this case, we describe a method for designing an architecture to satisfy both quality requirement and functional requirements. We call this method attribute driven design, that is ADD. Shortly we call this as ADD, that is ADD. In generally, the designing architecture is nothing but architectural design is a concept that focus on component or element of a structure on and architecture is generally the one in charge of the architect design. They work with space and elements to create a coherent and functional structure of a architecture. And when designing the architecture or system architecture is essential, the era of a just code right away is a simple over. In the modern context of software development, architecture plays an irreplaceable role because it is determines not only the backbone of the system but also how the software could be maintained and how it is expanded and how it will be work and how it is designed that concepts are there. And here the add takes as a input set of quality attribute, and in this section we describe this method, designing architecture method, with two methods, that are quality requirements and functional requirements. Collectively these two methods are known as the attribute driven design, that is add. Then add takes as an input set of quality attribute scenarios and employs knowledge about the relation between quality attribute achievement and architecture in order to design the architecture. Here the add is nothing but the collection of the two method, that is quality requirement and the functional requirement. Here the add takes input set of quality attribute and scenarios and employ knowledge to design the architecture. Here the designing architecture is the system designing is the process of designing elements of a system like modules, architecture and components. And the architecture of a system describe its major components, their relationship, how they it interact with the each other. And software design provides plan that describe of the element system, how they are fit and how they will work together. And to fulfill this requirement we have to design the architecture. In that add method, the add method can be viewed as an extension to the most other development methods such as rational unified process. And here the rational unified process is nothing but it has several steps that result in the high level design of an architecture, but then proceeds to detailed design and implementation. And here we require the employee knowledge and scenarios and quality attribute to build a designing architecture. Then next that is design strategy. Here design strategy is nothing but the main part of the designing the architecture. And here we will discuss the design strategy. We present three ideas that are key to architecture design methods. These ideas are decomposition, second one designing to architecturally significant requirements, and third one is the generate and test. In designing strategy, we mainly have three ideas, that is decomposition and designing to architecturally significant requirements, and the last one is the generate and test. We will discuss three ideas one by one briefly. First come with decomposition. Here decomposition means decomposition means what? Here the decomposition is internally nothing but it is a submodel, and it is a submodel and shares and secret. This the in generally the decomposition is decomposition consists of design and its constituent sub-designs. The architecture determines the quality attributes of a system. As a beginning only I told, the quality attributes determined by the architecture, and hopefully we have convinced you of that by now. The quality attributes are properties of the system as a whole. Let us see. For example, it is the time between the arrival of an event and the output of the processing that is event. Here the quality attributes are determined by the architecture, and it is the quality attributes are the properties of the system as a whole. And in generally the decomposition is nothing but it is a sub module, and it is useful for resource allocation and project structuring and planning, information hiding, encapsulation, configuration control. For these all we use the decomposition. And here the decomposition in given the fact that quality attribute refers to the system as a whole. If wish to design to achieve quality attribute requirements, we must begin with the system as a whole, and as the design is decomposed, the quality attribute also decomposed and assigned to the element of the decomposition. And here as the system attributes has decomposed, the quality attributes also decomposed here. And this is very useful for project planning and structuring and hiding, encapsulation, configuration. For these all things we need the decomposition. And come to the next, that is second idea to design strategy, that is designing to architecturally significant requirements. Design to architecturally significant requirements in shortly, that is called AAS RS, and gave a technique for collecting and structuring them. These are the requirements that drive the architectural design, that is why they are significant. Driving the designs means that these requirements have a profound effect on other architecture. Here the in this section uh, we gave a technique for collecting and structuring the architectures significantly. And significantly in other words, you must design to satisfy these requirement, and these are the requirements are drive the architectural design, that is why it is significant. And significant here, while designing the architecturally significant requirements, the two questions will be arise, that are what happens to the other requirements, and do I design for the one ASR at a time or not. That is the main two questions we have to answer for these questions. And first question, what about the non ARS requirements? For this question the answer is the choice of ARS implies a prioritization of requirements. We have to give the priority to the requirements as designing the architecture. And that second question is uh, design design for all the ARS are at a time or not. The answer for this question is a matter of experience. We have to experience to design the architecture here. And the that is driven design means these requirements have profound to effect in architecture. These all requirements are the main things in effect to design the architecture. And the next design strategies, and that is last one, that is generate and test. In generate and test, name itself. Generate means produce, and test means we have to test whether the we are giving hypothesis or correct or not. Let us discuss. One way of viewing design is the process of generate and test. This generate and test approach views a particular design as a hypothesis, namely the design satisfy the requirement. Testing is the process of determining whether the design hypothesis is correct or not. In this generate and test, we how it will work, we come to know with this diagram. That is, in this generate and test, for this process to be effective, the generation of the next design hypothesis must build on the result of the testers, and that is the thing wrong with the current design hypothesis are fixed, and the next design hypothesis and the things are right are kept. If there is no coupling between the testing and the generation of the next design hypothesis, then the process become guess and test, and that is not effective for the design strategy. Here you see this diagram, look this diagram. We have mainly three components, that is generate initial hypothesis, test hypothesis, generate next hypothesis. First our process will start with the generate initial hypothesis. After this first step, it will move to the test hypothesis. In this test hypothesis, it will test the hypothesis are correct or not, and it will move to the further process, that is generate next hypothesis. And generate next hypothesis, if the process it is correct, if it is okay, otherwise it will again go to the test hypothesis. Let's see, let us see how the this process will occur. We will discuss here. First we come with the generate initial hypothesis. In this method, what will happens here, design solution are created using collateral that is available to the project, and collateral can include existing system framework available to the project and known architecture pattern, design checklist, or a domain decomposition. These components are required to generate an initial hypothesis. That the main components are the existing system and framework and architecture pattern, design checklist, and domain decomposition. These are the main thing to generate the initial hypothesis. And what is the work of these components here? The first, that is existing system. What will it do? The existing system is provide the most powerful uh, collateral requirements for the for the existing system. Provide the most powerful collateral requirement for the existing system are it is a more special case existing system you are driving of knowledge, and this is provide the more powerful collaterals to the to generate the initial hypothesis. And next, that is framework. And framework, what will do it, a framework is a partial design that provides a service that common in a particular domain. And the next is, that is pattern and tactics. The pattern and tactics will give the solution for the problem. And that next, that is domain decomposition. It is another option for the initial design hypothesis come from the performing a domain decomposition. And lastly, the design checklist. It can guide the architect to make quality attribute targeted design choices, and checklist will provide the guidance and confidence to the architecture. And after the generate initial hypothesis over, it will move to the further step, that is test hypothesis. In test hypothesis, what will happen, the testing is the process of determining whether the hypothesis is correct or not. If it is not correct, then another design hypothesis must be generated, that is generated in the generate next hypothesis. The test hypothesis is the it is used to test the design decision that have already made in the generate initial hypothesis, along with that components as listed above, as mentioned above. And the For the important quality attribute requirement, use the design checklist to assess whether whether the decision you have made so far are sound and complete. For example, if testability is important for you, your system, then checklist says ensure that the coordination model support and the architecturally significant requirements. If the hypothesis does not provide a solution for the architecturally significant requirements, then it must be improved. That is improved in the generate next text. The test hypothesis will test the decisions, whether the decisions are made correct or not. If it is correct, then okay. Otherwise, if it is not correct, it will move to the next step, that is generate next hypothesis. It will in this step it will be improved. Then come to the next, that is generate next hypothesis. In the next hypothesis, almost all work will done with this. See here, the for after applying the test, you might be done, everything looks good. On the other hand, you might still have some concerns, especially you might have a list of quality attribute problems associated with your analysis of the current hypothesis, and these problems are solved by the tactics that is intended and improve a design with respect to particular quality attribute. And after this process, it will go to the terminate process, that is final step. In that final step, what will happen, you are already done with the generate and test process when you either have a design that satisfy the ARS, or when you exhaust your budget for producing the design. You if you do not produce such designs within a budget, then you have two options. The first option is the you have to proceed to implementation with respect to hypothesis, and um, second option is to argue for the more budget for the design analysis and analysis. And the if you done with these designs, then it will satisfactorily, there is a no sense producing in it, and it will be complete their process. And the next, that is attribute driven design methods. Attribute driven design, that is ADD method, is a packaging of strategies that we have just discussed. And add is an iterative method that each iteration helps to architect to do following. Here the attribute driven design is nothing but, in generally, the attribute driven design is an approach to defining a software and architecture that bases the decomposition process on the quality attribute the software has to fulfill. And it is the ADD is a recursive decomposition process where the at each stage tactics and architecture patterns are chosen to satisfy the quality scenarios, and the functionally is allocated. And add is a positioned in the life cycle of after requirement analysis. And as we have said, can begin when the architectural drives are known with some confidence. And in generally, it is nothing but the step by the architecture driven design is the step by step method to design the architecture, and it is a systematic way to have the design the architecture, and it is easy because it is step by step methods. And we have the following uh, method to methods to attribute driven design, that are choose a part of a system design, marshal all the architecturally significant requirements for the part, and create and test and design for the part. Here the add is a iterative method for the each iteration, and it will help to architect uh, more. And the next is the, that is step of add. Here the step of add, we have the add is a 5-step methods. In that we have the 5 steps, that are choose an element of the system to design and identify the ASRS for the chosen element, and generate a design solution for the chosen element, inventory remaining requirements and select the input for the next iteration. And fifth, that is repeat step 1 to 4 until the ARS, that is ARS is nothing but architecturally significant requirements have been satisfied. In this step of ad, we will discuss 5 steps that are very important to design the attribute driven design. And these they have these 5 steps are more important to build attribute driven design, and along with these 5 steps we able to build the ADD, that is attribute driven design. Let we will discuss these steps one by one briefly. Let's start with the first step, that is choose an element of the system to design. The first step is choose an element of the system to design. Here, uh, choose an element means we have to choose the element for the designing system. The let's see, select an element of the system that is not at design. In the first iteration, this will be system itself. Later on, choice will need to be made between several elements. This choice can be based on the personal availability, input resources availability, risk mitigation, etc. Here, choose an element. Name itself only, as a name itself only, we have to choose. Means we have to select the elements that is not yet selected for the design. Not yet selected for the design. After the chosen, it will be need to be made between several elements, and this choice is based on the personal availability and input resource availability. Here, we have when we choosing the elements, we have to we have these several iterations, and along with these iterations we have to perform the choose an element of the system design. The first iteration of attribute driven design will create collection of elements together constitute an entire system, and the second iteration will take one of these element, what we will call the choose element, means fresh element, and it design and resulting in the still finer gained elements. And third iteration will take another element, either one of the children of the whole system or one of the children that was created from the design of the one of the children, that is whole system. And fourth, here we have to choose the element, and the second what we'll do, that is the system will collectively gives the elements. We have to choose one element, and third part will be do it will choose the element and design for it. And the fourth, it will choose either the children for as a system, whole system, and fourth so on. And the next is second, that is after the choosing element, we have to identify the element, that is identify the next step, that is the identify the ARS ASRS for the chosen element. After the chosen element, we have to identify the element. In this step, we have to identify the element. Now the number of method discovering the identify the ASRS that are most important for this selected element. You should prioritize this requirement to make sure that your decision reflects the most important ARS. This step is the most important step, because first step what we have to do, we have to choose the element, and after the choosing element we have to identify the element. In the identify element is the very important step to you, and here we should prioritize requirement to make sure design reflects the most important architecture significantly requirements. Here If chosen element for a design in step 1 is the whole system, then a utility tree can be good source for the ASRS. Otherwise, construct a utility tree specifically focus on the chosen element using the quality attribute requirement that apply to this element, and that will be further discussed, that is in the step 4. Those are are the labeled are the utility tree level as well. These will almost certainly also be ARS for this element. And the next step is, that is third one, generate a design solution for the chosen element. First step, we what we have what we do what we'll do first we all the in between all elements, we have to choose the one element and we have to give the priority for that. In second step, what we have to do, identify the element, and after identifying the element, we have to generate a design solution for the chosen element. And in this generate design for this is a chosen element, this is the heart of the ad. And since the architecture will be created in this step, the architecture you create should be reflect and the selected ASRS. You can do this by making use of architectural pattern or tactics. Most of the times you will have to make trade-off between several tactics and ARS. In this is the most important, this is the heart of the attribute driven design. This step is the heart of the ad, and this step is the heart of the ad, and it is the application for the generate and test strategy. As beginning only, we have discussed about the generate and test strategy, and this is the generate and design solution is the application for the generate and test strategy. Upon entry to this step, when we upon entry to this step, we have to choose an element for design and list ARS that apply to it. For each ASR, we develop a solution by choosing an candidate design approach. And uh, approach after choosing the element and identifying the element, in this step we have to we have to generate a design and solution for the element. And the next, that is fourth step, that is inventory remaining requirements and select the input of the next iteration. In this step, the take a look at the listed ASRS and see whether they are already fulfilled with the design you have at the moment. For each ASR, you will have to check whether it is satisfied delegated to one of the children, distributed among the children, or whether it is cannot be satisfied. In this step, in inventory remaining requirements and select the input for the next iteration. In this step, we have to check the whether condition is satisfied or not. The ARS have been satisfied could be related the following, that is the quality attribute requirement allocated to the parent element, and functional responsibility for the parent element, one or more constraint of the parent element. In it is possible it's possible that is design solution you come up with the prior step want to satisfy all the ASR. Step 4 of add is the test step, that is applied your design for the element you choose to elaborate. In a step 1 of the iteration, one of the possible outcome of a step 4 is backtrack, meaning that the important requirement was not satisfied and cannot be satisfied by the further elaborating this design. In this case, the design needs to be reconsidered, that is reconsidered in the fifth step, that is the repeat step 1 to 4 until the ASRS have been satisfied. Means in final step, what will happen after the prior step, each element has a set of responsibility, a set of quality attribute requirement, and the set of constraint assigned to it. If it is clear that that all of requirements are satisfied, then it is obliquely ends with the add process. If it is not satisfied, then repeat then again you have to repeat the steps 1 to 4. In this method, that is step of add uh, step of add to design the attribute driven design. First we what to have to do, that is first step we have to choose the element between all the element. We have to choose particular one element, and after choosing the one element, in second step we have to identify that the chosen element for the attribute architecturally significant requirement. And after the identifying the chosen element, because the identifying is the most important step in the step add method. After the identifying the element, we have to generate a design for the solution. We have to generate the solution for the add, because it is we have to check the whether the condition is satisfied or not. And the in fourth step, inventory remaining requirement and select the input next for the next iteration. In this fourth step, we have whatever we choose an element, identifying element, after the identifying generating the solution for the element, we have to check the element whether the element is whether the condition is satisfied or not. If it is satisfied, it is okay. If it is cannot be satisfied, then we go to the further step further step because if in this fourth step, um, because the fourth step is the backtrack of the add, and meaning the important requirement was the satisfied. If it cannot be satisfied by further elaborating this design, in this case the design needs to be reconsidered, mean we have to again reconsider in the fifth step, that is the repeat step of fifth. The condition is satisfied for the ASRS, then it is okay. If condition is not satisfied for the ASRS, we have to move further step. We have to repeat again, that is 1 to 4 step. uh, Thank you.